Okay, so we are very, very delighted to be here today because there's something burning in our heart that all this year we have been looking forward to. It's something that you are passionate about in all your lectures. In fact, any other person that we've met over the years and everything, people do all kinds of programs for this kind of stuff, maybe if to affect society on this, on that. But you are one person that has been consistent on the youth agenda, youth and leadership for so many years, which I'm privileged to be a part of. Now, the Nigerian youths, we have made up our mind to take our destiny in our hand. There's a major project that is on right now, which is called the Nigeria Youth Decide. This project is a project that has been on our heart for some time to carry out, but we thought about it. We said there's no better time to carry out this project if not now. Why are we doing it? We are doing it because over the years we have found out something, that there's a very big gap and vacuum between the leaders and the led. In fact, what we have been experiencing is what they call it, slave master and servant relationship, whereby the people are not carried along. And because of that, it annihilates the strength and the potentials to contribute into meaningful governance. In fact, the truth is this, is that there's no way Nigeria should be where it is right now. The other day, we were going through a couple of records. We found out that the Nigerian passport is one of the lowest currently right now. It's ridiculous. Because, sir, you will agree with me that the same young people in UK, in America, when you talk about entertainment and tech and a couple of other areas, even in medical sciences, are the ones, in fact, the most wonderful sets of Africans that you can think about and all. Right now, we are so glad that one of our own is now part of the UK government and all. It looks as if when our people leave Nigeria, as if there's one spiritual force that is holding, which is not. We are the ones holding ourselves. But how long are we going to continue like that? So it will be very interesting for you to know. I went for a program in Namibia to speak in a conference in Namibia. That's about 4 months ago. And while I was there, I spoke about Africa, the way forward. After the speaking and all the rest of it, they were excited. People were happy and the rest of it. And people were asking me questions and the rest. Somebody now got up and the person said, Dr. Uche, please, sir, I want to tell you something. I was like, okay, what? I thought probably he wanted to like bring some accolades and stuff, but I was very disappointed. He made a statement. He said, if Nigeria sneezes, Africa catches cold. He said, if Nigeria coughs, it's like earthquake. That please, can you go back to Nigeria and mobilize your youths for them to know that the rising of Africa is tied to the Nigerian youths? Please, I know this is the collective thinking of everybody here. When you feel saying that people stood up and they were clapping, I felt ashamed because Nigeria is the only place where we go to build other people's country, but our own, we forget about it. We don't do anything about our country. But now we are saying, no, we are taking our destiny through the PVC. So the Nigerian Youth Decide movement is a movement whereby we have invited, right now, sir, we have invited all the presidential candidates to come and listen to the young people on what the young people want from them. You cannot come to our house to tell us what you want to do for us without finding out what we want from you. So we have invited them in Abuja on October 1st for them to come sit down, listen to us. At the end of the day, they can make remarks, answer 1 or 2 questions, and carry the young people along. So we have made up our mind to hold our leaders accountable. Whatever they are doing, any expenditure whatsoever, you have to let us know because the money belongs to us. We are the one that own the resources. We need a government of unity. And the problem that is plaguing Nigerians, that's why we call it Nigeria Youth Decide, doesn't have anything to do with tribalism. Insecurity is not a tribalistic insecurity. Hunger is not tribalistic or party. This team is non-political, it's non-partisan. All the people from PDP, APC, NMPP, wherever you are, Labour, everybody, let's come together and agree on a particular thing. That we have this problem plaguing us and there's nothing outside of it that is not affecting everybody. So Daddy, this is our primary area we came to see you because you have stood for us over these years, and we also came here to actually let you know that we have made up our mind that all the youths are going to listen to you for your fatherly advice at the event because you have stood for us. There's no other person that stood for us that has integrity and has the drive over all these years, and we are really privileged to be at your place, sir. If we keep talking right now, we are very passionate. I'm sure my other colleagues have other things to say, sir, and after that, we would love you to give us your fatherly advice and all. So Daddy, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let me first welcome all of you here.
Yes, thank you, sir.
And say that I've listened to you with great excitement. enjoyment. It's music in my ears because I've had the privilege of living in a Nigeria that as a young man we were very proud of. I remember, if I go back to years, possibly even before your parents were born, because my next birthday I will be 90.
Wow.
So you can see, January next year I will be 90. And so you can see that I've lived through a long time of changes. In the Nigeria of the early 60s, when I was privileged to be a member of Nigeria's permanent delegation to the United Nations in New York. I was in New York from 1963 to 1966 as a member of the delegation. Then Nigeria's leadership and role in Africa was unquestionable. When in 1964 the UN faced a major crisis, existential crisis, because of a major crisis between the Soviet Union group and the United States and Western Europe. The three ambassadors who rescued the UN were the Nigerian ambassador, the Indian ambassador, and the Japanese ambassador. That goes to show you the standing of Nigeria in those days. And in those days, Nigeria's green passport was respected and admired. International airports. The country gave us great hope. At that time, the country was, in terms of social development, at the same level with South Korea. We were a notch higher than Malaysia.
Wow.
In the early 60s. Look at where we are today. We are more than one generation behind the South Korea. We are years and years behind Malaysia. Nigerian's passport is disrespected internationally. You know, you present the green passport, they view you with suspicion and disrespect. Not to mention the situation in our country, because the respect you earn abroad depends to a large extent on the situation in your own country.
That's right.
All the embassies and the world, now communications are so easier that whatever happens here is known all over the world. They know all over the world that there's hardly any day that passes here you don't read of so many people being killed, so many people being kidnapped. And many governments now warn their citizens not to travel to parts of Nigeria, which was not the case when I was a young student at University College of Ibadan. 3 of us traveled by car from Ibadan to Niger Republic. And we had no problem. But we dare not do that today. We dare not, I would not recommend to anybody to travel by road at night. In fact, I would not recommend to anybody to go by road. Things have changed. We've been hearing, as you said, we've been hearing that the future of the country is in the hands of the youth and so on. It's It's become a hackneyed phrase. Everybody repeats that. But it is true. It is true. If you look at the leaderships of many countries now, the leaderships have been, the age of the leaders has been going down and down. Today, or yesterday, we had the new British Prime Minister, who is 47. Liz Truss is 47. And in your own country, William Ruto has just been elected president. And Ruto, I think, is 55.
Yes, sir.
The ages have been dropping in recognition of the enthusiasm and abilities of the young. So for me to hear you speak as you've been speaking, as I said, it's music in my ears, because I'd like to spread your message to all of them. Because I believe that the factors that have been responsible for the decline in Nigeria, starting with first the decline in the ethical values, societal values. When I was young, throughout my university education, secondary school, university, we never heard of examination malpractice. Never. We never heard of forged certificates. We grew up believing that success comes from hard work and integrity, good character. It was one American evangelist who said that when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost.
Wow.
That's the environment in which people of my generation grew up. And as I said then, Nigeria gave the young people hope that we would be where South Korea, Malaysia,